Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. President EDGAR LUNGU off to the COPPERBELT as Hakainde Hichilema is blocked from going there. Court deadline for former ministers to pay back illegal salaries comes to an end. Details coming through after this commercial. Monday, 11th January 2021 on National Matters. Join Pastor Moses Chilua as he hosts a vibrant, young, creative, self-motivated leader, Mulenga Sata. You can participate on the program through phone calls, text and Zoom. Camnet TV, not just another channel. And now the media news in detail. The deadline issued by the Constitutional Court to all cabinet and deputy ministers to pay back illegal salaries they obtained when they illegally stayed in their offices after the dissolution of Parliament in 2016 has come to an end. Only 4 non-ministers, namely Harry Kalaba and Ronald Chitotela, have paid their illegal salaries in full, while Mwenya Msenga and Stephen Kampyongo have partly paid their illegal salaries. The order came to force on the 7th of December 2020. Details in the following report.
Today marks exactly a month since an order was given to former cabinet ministers who stayed in office illegally to pay back the money they obtained after Parliament dissolved in 2016. 7th January 2021 was a day set by the court as the last day for all ministers to pay back, but despite the month elapsing, 43 ministers out of 63 who were listed to pay back are yet to do so. On the 7th of December 2020, the Constitutional Court ordered the former ministers, deputy ministers, and former provincial ministers to pay back their evaluated debt within 30 days. However, the 43 ministers, among those Justice Minister Given Luinda, have requested the Constitutional Court to extend the period of payment and allow them to pay in installment due to financial challenges.
Speaking for myself, I don't know how I managed to raise all that money within 30 days. That is far beyond my monthly earning. There is no way that I can afford to raise that kind of money within 30 days, save for me going to borrow at high interest rates. So from a personal perspective, I'm still reflecting upon making an application to the court to extend the period in which I can pay this money, because I don't think it's the intention of the court to starve me and my family for the next 2 months. I don't think that's their intention.
Among the 63, only a few managed to settle their debt and publicly announced to have done so include the former Minister of Foreign Affairs and now Democratic Party President Harry Kalaba being the first to pay, followed by Tourism Minister Ronald Chitotela. Meanwhile, people like Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo, their debt was partially settled by Green Party President Peter Skamba.
It's not even about money, it's about principle. A good name is better than riches. The mistake was made, even though it was not made by myself, but the courts have ruled. It's the same courts that have managed to keep the GP right now in existence. So it's the same courts that have ruled that we should pay back. So where good comes from, even evil comes from. So I have paid because I think I have an inescapable responsibility towards this country, that we need to do good. Especially as leaders, we need to walk the talk. So people know that if we undermine our own foundations of democracy, then where are we going?
Seeing that today is their last day, some stakeholders have demanded that the 43 follow the procedure and do the right thing, as this is not the first time they are being ordered to pay, because in 2016 they were told to do so.
I've already heard some people saying, no, we will not pay. We don't care about that. We shall invoke the contempt of court provisions, and some of them, they will end up having elections in prison. And we are waiting. We have heard Jitka Pata saying he's not going to pay. He's quoted by the Daily Nation. We are going to invoke the provisions that are giving us power to cite people contempt of the courts.
Only a few months left for Parliament to dissolve ahead of the 2021 general elections. What will be the court's action against the ministers who have failed to pay? Or will it be another long court process that the Zambian citizens will have to witness? Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
In other news, President Edgar Lungu is on the Copperbelt province for a 3-day working visit. While on the Copperbelt, President Edgar Lungu is expected to hold several meetings with key stakeholders, especially those in the mining sector. Upon arrival in the province Thursday, President took the tour to Lubambe mining plant in Chilabombe district, where he pledged to fully support the company in its quest to expand its mining activities in the country. President Edgar Lungu has also met with mine union leaders for KCM, both Chilabombe and Chingola. The president says increased production in the mining sector is good for the economy as it increases revenue collection.
Mining is Zambia's largest revenue earner, and the need to safeguard the mining industry remains very critical for the survival of the country. Zambia's President Edgar Lungu has pledged to continue supporting the mining sector in order for them to continue being relevant to the Zambian economy.
But guys, we're in this together. We are in this together because the more you produce, the better for the economy, the better for the tax collector, the better for everything that we are doing. Infrastructure development and all these things which you are getting accolades for can only be achieved if we produce more. So for that reason, I want to assure management of this mine that we will support you in your quest to expand the mine and begin operations as soon as possible. Let me call upon the workers on the labor movement here, and I would really say that guys, nothing succeeds like hard work. We all have to work hard.
The president has also urged miners to continue following the said COVID-19 guidelines in order to prevent the further spread of the pandemic.
COVID-19 is real, and the strain of COVID which has hit us now is more deadly. People are getting sick in the evening and by the following morning they are gone. So mask up, sanitize, and ensure that you keep that social distance. It's very, very important. And if you don't feel so well, please report yourself to the clinic very quickly so they examine it. We value you more. There's talk of the COVID-19 vaccine which is coming. We want that vaccine to find you alive.
And Lubamba Copper Mine Director of Operations says the mine has in excess of 250 tons of copper with a lifespan of over 30 years.
Allow me to emphasise that the future of Lubambe lies just to the south of us, in what we call the extension project. As you are aware, the mine has completed an advanced concept study on this project. This sleeping giant is in excess of 250 million tonnes and 3.6% contain copper. It is without doubt one of the largest and highest grade undeveloped copper deposits in the world.
The head of state is on the Copperbelt for a 3-day working visit and is expected, among others, to meet with mine union leaders of KCM and Mopani copper mines. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
Meanwhile, Opposition United Party for National Development UPND President Hakainde Hichilema was on the same day Thursday blocked at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport from flying to the Copperbelt. This is despite having earlier cleared by the National Airport Corporation. Mr. Hichilema's private pilot briefed him upon arrival at the airport that there was fresh instructions from the corporation for him not to be allowed to fly out. Mr. Hichilema was flying to the Copperbelt to attend the burial of the late UPND Copperbelt Youth Chairman Ronald Manenga, who perished in a road traffic accident earlier this week. The UPND leader was scheduled to land in Kalulushi, then connect to Kitwe, but the airstrip was heavily policed. Armed police vehicles have also been unleashed on the Copperbelt. Mr. Hichilema was, however, forced to attend the burial proceedings via the Zoom technology. The UPND leader is shocked to learn that the entire Air Force could be closed just because President Edgar Lungu is also on the Copperbelt.
He was left speechless to understand why he could not fly out of the country anymore and attend the burial of the late UPND Provincial Youth Chairperson despite having clearance.
So this is official, this is sent around the whole world now on the international system. Okay. It's logged in the system. Logged in the system, yeah.
United Party for National Development President Hakainde Hichilema was expected to be in Kitwe to attend the funeral service of Mr. Ronald, who died in a car crash over the weekend. However, it is not exactly clear as to why Mr. Hichilema was denied to travel.
Unfortunately, we are just being
there's no reason
given.
There's no reason given. I asked them on the phone. They said they'll issue a NOTAM, but normally a NOTAM like this will start with the word due something. That would be due COVID or due, resurfacing of the runway or something like that. All aerodromes closed, but this NOTAM gives no reason. No reason. No reasons have been given. We know that His Excellency the President flew into Ndola this morning, and there was a NOTAM advising that there would be disruptions while he was flying in and out, which was issued I think last night, which is normal, and it explains due to the IT movement there will be interruptions. But in this case, there's no reason given, so we can't really say anything.
I think my colleagues have spoken. This is a very bad day for our country. I can't believe what's going on. I think we need the nation to know what's going on, and it's unacceptable. And this is the reason why Zambians must conclude in unison that there's need to change. It's time for change, and that time for change is 2021. We cannot continue living like this. That we can't mourn each other. We close the whole COPPERBELT. It's unprecedented.
The UPND leader was expected to land in Kalulushi on the morning of the 7th of January 2021. This forced the leader of the opposition party to attend the funeral service via the video conferencing app Zoom. Meanwhile, the late, who died on the 3rd of January 2021, was put to rest in Kitwe, where the rest of his family lives. His son also paid his last respect.
My father was a very hardworking man. My father worked day and night. Sometimes he used to come back very late.
It was also observed that police vehicles were seen at the site for security purposes. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. President EDGAR LUNGU off to the COPPERBELT as Hakainde Hichilema is blocked from going there. Court deadline for former ministers to pay back illegal salaries comes to an end. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Always remember to wear your mask, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, maintain social distancing. Good afternoon.